Hey Bully World, Travis with Holy Trinity Bullys here. Just wanted to finally drop an intro video for you guys, give you guys a little bit more insight on me, Dolly, and the Holy Trinity family, where we plan to go. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Here I got a little Miss Dolly Parton. Just wanted to actually finally get a little intro video done for you guys. It seems like we're actually catching some traction with a bit of a following, 50 some odd followers on Facebook. 250 followers on Instagram. Got a handful on YouTube, not really there yet, but we'll see what happens there. Thank you guys so much. All of your support, I appreciate it. We here, all of us, me, Kalina, Michael, Austin, my mom, Tina, we all really do appreciate the love and support here at Holy Trinity. You know, it is really it's a group effort, you know, to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish here, you know. So yeah, just a little bit of an intro with me and Dolly. So Dolly is about to be 5 years old now here in December. I got Dolly while I was living in Seattle, Washington back in 2022. And I got her with the intention of, you know, my daughter was about 6 months old. She was trying to crawl around, didn't have too much luck at the beginning, and I figured what a better excuse than to buy this lovely girl right here and you know, give Ariana some pep in her step, and it worked fantastically. You know, I'd had at least 10 years experience with these dogs. I've been around pits and the bulls for 15 years, but the American Bullies I've had 10 years of experience with, and ever since I got my first bully, I fell in love. You know, these dogs are really tremendous dogs, super misunderstood dogs, very stigmatized dogs, and that's what I love even more about them. You know, is that I feel like that's something that I could relate to a bit myself. You know? So. Yeah, we got Dolly, and she was about 4 or 5 months old, and it was just a match made in heaven. Dolly came in to the house acting like she owned the place. She, you know, more than willing to roughhouse with me, face nipping, all that. But when it came to Ariana, she was just a natural. You know, she was very gentle, very soft. She was very well aware that she was dealing with a child, even as a puppy. And that's what really impressed me about Dolly specifically. So, you know, I bought her with full rights, considering that I would potentially breed her in the future, but I wasn't quite dedicated to it because, again, these are very misunderstood, very stigmatized dogs. And, you know, coming from owning pit bulls, that's one thing with getting involved with this breed, is that I promised myself is that I was going to do everything in my ability to do it the right way. To make sure that whatever dogs I put out in this world are not only the best companions for the families that they land with, but you know, they're good fits for any setting that they're put into. You know, and Dolly has proven to be a great candidate for that temperament. So yeah, speed up to now, you know, like I said, I was never really dedicated to breeding. Something I was very eager to get into, but very hesitant, you know, and then God works in mysterious ways. He presented the opportunities exactly how I needed them to start a successful breeding program. So, you know, here we are. We're taking Dolly to Liddy Line's Gunsmoke. I came across Gunsmoke 2 years ago now, you know, just following bully pages and stuff, and it's love at first sight, you know, and I know, you know, people can fall and be bamboozled for the Photoshop and you know, all the marketing schemes that some of these breeders do. I did my homework. I went and I looked up videos of Gunsmoke, his movement, his structure. You could clearly see his top line. In my opinion, Gunsmoke is an almost flawless dog when it comes to phenotype. When it comes to phenotype, he is what, in my opinion, screams an American bully, you know, within the standard of ABKC. Everybody's brought their own twist and different vision to this breed, which I mean is something that I cannot say that I'm not into. If you can't tell, Dolly is exotic. She's got exotic features. Come here, baby. Show your face. She does have the exotic features, you know, with the shorter snout. And she's smaller. She's smaller, more compact. She is 15 inches at the withers. She is 40 pounds. Very, very athletic, very agile for a compact bully. She is right there, right at that good pocket size, but like a lighter weight for a pocket. So you know, she's exactly what I was looking for. I like the exotic features, but I didn't want a micro. You know, and she's right about there. If she was any smaller, she'd start pushing a micro. So I got my first bully right out of high school. Her name was Boo, and I got her as a unique situation. You know, I was young, broke kid, fresh out of high school, and I got her for very cheap. Well, when I personally met her, come to find out she was very, very, very overbred. She was about 6, 7 years old. So she should have been retired, like officially retired. I think from what the breeder had told me is that she had about 9 litters, so she was very, very, very overbred. And then when I personally met her, he opened the kennel and she went to go stand and walk out, and her muscles and her legs were so atrophied that she had collapsed, and it was the most heartbreaking thing for me to see. And at that point, it didn't matter how much he was asking me. It didn't matter, you know, what the situation was. Is that the heart in me is that I was like, I cannot let this guy keep this dog. So I left with her, and we started the rehabilitation process. I started looking up YouTube on good, safe ways to rehabilitate like an overbred dam, you know, where, you know, because after they're bred so much, their structure goes, their joints go, her muscles started going. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't push her too hard, you know, because these guys, they're little hippopotamuses, you know, they're all body and head, you know. So when their legs go, it's like that's very, very sad. But speed up, good news is that Boo made a full recovery. 6 months later, she was able to do full-fledged sprints. She got full vet clearances. She was eventually spayed. I wasn't able to afford to spay her, but I did keep her separate from all other males. And she did ultimately get spayed, and she got rehomed because, again, I was a broke kid in high school, and I just came to the conclusion that I didn't have any business owning multiple dogs. So I was downsizing. So I found Boo a good home. I found Zeus a good home. And then I ended up moving to Illinois to kind of reestablish myself. And then after Boo, you know, it kind of drove me to getting into rescuing or fostering. So I would foster dogs, specifically pit bulls and bullies. That was something I was comfortable with. It wasn't something I had to fully commit to. If the dog was too problematic, if it you know, was just something that I couldn't handle, I could let them know, the fostering agency, and just say, hey, you know, this isn't going to be a good fit. And thankfully, that was something that I never encountered. I was very blessed to end up being able to foster some of the dogs that I did. One particularly that comes to mind, his name was Joey. That was when I came back to Arizona for a little bit, and I got to see Joey for a little bit. Joey was a very, very awesome dog. Very thick, very impressive, very intimidating looking dog. Huge love bug. You know, and that's the consistency that I've seen with this breed, is that no matter how intimidating they've looked, no matter how big and mean, once I've gotten my hands on them, they're nothing but love. And And that's where I'm like, you know, I found that. I want to be able to share that with other people that share the interest in the breed. Whether your interest is just owning one of these lovely dogs, or whether your interest is, you know, potentially getting into to getting some show dogs, or breeding some good pups, you know. I'm very blessed that I've immediately made some pretty healthy relationships in the business world. It seems like to you know, really improve what we've got here with Dolly. So you know, we're very excited, very excited.